welcome back to the channel and to another episode of Alt Archives, the series where I talk at length about your favorite clothing brand, the history behind them, and their ethics. And today we are covering Dark in Love. Who are they? How long have they been around? Why is their logo a silver anglerfish? Hopefully these questions will be answered. So without further ado, let's get into it. Dark in Love was started in 2017. According to their first Instagram post, I could not find a date that says when they actually started. They labeled themselves as a gothic Lolita and punk brand. Not much is known about the history of the brand, as of course with a lot of these videos their about page leaves a lot to be desired. I did find out that it is a Taobao brand, which if you don't know what that is, Taobao is a Chinese marketplace. Think like AliExpress and Wish and Temu. But unlike those sites, Taobao is incredibly hard for foreigners to really navigate because everything is in Chinese. I tried getting Nana makeup from a brand that only sold through Taobao one time, and I gave up after like 15 minutes. It's a hair-pulling experience. Lots of Google Translate. But what the Dark in Love website does is basically do all the work for you, giving you a bunch of gothic Asian fashion without having to use Google Translate and navigate to a bunch of foreign stuff. They also provide wholesale to some of the more well-known brands like Berserk, Phantasmagoria, and Vampire Freaks, who I covered on this channel, by the way. With this being originally a Chinese brand, there's literally no info on who owns it or anything really, at least not that I could find. I really wanted to know who the model in all of these pictures were because they use one model for every single piece of clothing that they have, but I couldn't find them. I tried Google image search and that just brought me to like the website and more modeling pictures and just yeah. I did try really hard to understand this brand, but man, they did not make it easy. I did find this video by Miah Grace, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, called Dark in Love Behind the Seams, a goth sewist review. Watching the video, I thought her perspective was incredibly interesting because she's a sewist, so she can talk about fabric and cuts way better than I could even dream about doing. But she also has experience working in brick and mortar goth clothing stores, where she would look over the clothes themselves that were shipped in by wholesalers. This is the part of the video I wanted to show.
There was another time whenever we got a velvet dress with a moon charm on it, and the moon charm had the name of another like small Lolita brand. It was embossed into the metal and it was backwards. And it just gave the charm like a little bit of subtle texture because your brain didn't recognize the backwards cursive as letters. But whenever you looked like really close at 40 of them, it was like, wait, this says something. And when my coworker and I figured out that this was like a manufacturing error that was rescued and then put on a garment anyway, we thought it was so cool because it just would have wound up in the trash otherwise.
I thought this story gave some consumer insight on the brand that I don't think I would have gotten just researching on my own. We will talk more in depth about the clothing and fabric in a minute, but I thought the story was really cool because it does show like the effort that the brand puts into these clothing pieces and that there's actual thought behind it, which Miah Grace highlights in her video and what I saw through my research as well. The amount of just effort that goes into their promo shots is on the same level, in my opinion, to more well-known brands like Killstar. Go check out Miah Grace's video though. I will have it linked down below. It was really enjoyable to watch. Since there's virtually no history on the brand, let's get into the stuff you really care about, the products. So they sell everything clothing wise, tops, dresses, bottoms, accessories, etc. Their sizes range from extra small to extra large, which I'll be honest is rather unfortunate. If you know anything about Asian sizing, you know you're going to have to size up at least one size. Depending on how the piece is made, you could size up 2 to 3 times, which is backed up by this Reddit response I found about the brand. Dark in Love is a Chinese company. Whatever your size is, add 3 to 4 sizes. I'm on the edge of their largest size and it's been mixed. I've got broad shoulders, so anything with sleeves pinches at my armpits, but sleeveless tops are fine. Bottoms tend to pinch on hips, but are a little loose at my waist. It's a touch too uncomfortable for me, so I've returned the pants. Which, as someone who wears a size large in American clothing, it would be incredibly hit or miss for me if I were to buy from them. They do say at the bottom of their sizing guide page that while they don't offer a 3X or a 4X, you can contact them for custom sizing options. So I do appreciate that they thought about that and put some effort into making it more accessible to people. Their prices range from $40 to $80 on average. Obviously depends on what the product is made of and how intricate it is. Now it is well known that Chinese wholesale can run on the cheap end, like 10 to 20 bucks, straight from the website, in this case Taobao itself. I tried finding their products on Taobao and I was able to see a couple of pieces, but man was it hard. I found this top on Taobao for 165 yuan, or around 22 USD. While I couldn't find the exact top on Dark in Love website, I found a similar top, which goes for 36 USD. If my math is mathing correctly, that's like a 63% markup. And I also found this listing on Taobao. This white button-up top was 150 yuan, or about $47 USD. I did find the same top on the Dark in Love website, but it was sold out and it wouldn't give me the price. But I did find a similar looking blouse that goes for around 62 USD. Now I know it's not the same exact shirt, but there were a lot of long sleeve button up shirts that were very similar to the original that were also priced at $63 to $64, making that a 31% markup. So is Dark in Love marking up their prices? Well, yes, technically, but is it anything crazy? I don't really think so. I personally don't think that the price difference is that drastic. This isn't some $10 plain white tee being sold for like $50. But I wanted to know what other people had to say. Someone asked if Dark in Love was actually Lolita like they claim. They said, "The site brands itself as Gothic Lolita and the dresses are nice. I own one from the brand and I'm able to fit a petticoat underneath it." A person commented under this with this response: "After reading we main in Gothic, Punk, Lolita, Casual, Alternative, Street Fashion, Costume, and would be great for a vampire or a witch snappy dresser for Halloween prom party on the front page, I wouldn't trust clothing to be suitable for Lolita." Which made me laugh because yeah, that is literally their about section. Vampire or a witch snappy dresser for Halloween prom party. I thought maybe this was AI generated, but I'm starting to think it's just a poor English translation. Giving wish. Someone also responded to the Reddit post saying, "No, looks like regular gothwear." And this is pretty much it. While they have Lolita inspired pieces, I'd say it caters more to industrial or techwear fashion with some dark academia and whimsical clothing thrown in. So pretty much a bit of everything. Let's see what else the internet has to say. Well, I couldn't find a dedicated review page. Their Facebook page is doing quite well with a 5-star rating and 100% recommendation rate. It seems like a lot of people online are interested in Dark in Love, but just haven't taken the leap yet and bought anything. Now let's finish off with ethics, because I found some interesting stuff. Now at first glance, there is zero info on the ethics of the company. Nothing about where the clothes are manufactured, the conditions, if they're vegan or cruelty free, nothing. But they have a blog, so I clicked it just to see, and the last post, out of only 2 posts, was conveniently titled Ethical Fashion Manufacturing by Jason Chen, whoever that is. I'll be honest, this was a bit of a confusing read, but I think I get the gist of it. They use faux fur and not animal fur. Good. They have a safe and nurturing work environment, and they're environmentally friendly. Honestly, why did I have to search so hard for that? Plaster it on your about page. Let everyone know. That's a good thing. You don't have to hide it or make a convenient article because you may or may not be receiving backlash on how quiet you are. I don't know. Now I wanted to check for myself, and I checked on some of the leather pieces, and they all say they were made from PU, which is a faux leather material. As far as fur goes, it's kind of weird. I found pieces that say they were 100% polyester, so yay, no real fur, that's great. But there's some clothing items that have zero fabric material information. None, anywhere. Not in the description, not in the little picture where they talk about the sizing and the material, so I guess we'll just have to assume it's also polyester? I think allegedly, don't quote me on this, but it's illegal not to have fabric content in your listing for a clothing piece, at least in the US. But I don't know how that would actually work if the company isn't US made and they're a Chinese company. I don't know. And that is all I found on Dark in Love. This one I dived a bit deeper into than I meant to, but it did yield for some interesting results. I won't say I'm disappointed like I have said in previous old archive videos. Dark in Love on the surface just seems sort of like a you're gonna get what you get. Like you get what you pay for kind of situation. So I think at the end of the day, if you're going to buy anything, make sure you understand the size guides, research their fabrics, just really understand exactly what you're buying. But yeah, as always, let me know down in the comments below if you have any experience with Dark in Love, good or bad. I'd love to hear it. I don't know if a lot of people actually know about this brand because I think they're more popular as a wholesaler than they are selling from their individual website. but I would love to know if anyone has any experience with them. If you like this sort of content, I have an entire playlist on my YouTube channel. I've covered brands like Killstar, Black Craft Cult, Demonia, and I recently got into covering makeup brands like Black Moon Cosmetics. So if that interests you, there will be a playlist linked above and down below. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I post new videos out every week, so don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload from me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!